Good evening, brothers and sisters in the Dharma. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu to all who attended our today's session. Welcome to BMSM Metta Network Group session number 3. Today's we are going to have topics Dharma Power in Crisis will be shared by Bante U. Mangala. We are currently preparing the Facebook Live fetching the video streaming at the moment. Sister Bihui, may you kindly check the Facebook Live? It seems to be not connected to the BMSM Facebook Live. A short introduction, a bit about Bante U. Mangala. Bante was born in 1968 in the historical city of Malacca, Malaysia. Since childhood, he was awakened to the realities of life and began to search for a truth during his youth. During his school and college, he was actively involved in campus Dharma activities, especially in meditation. After graduation from Faculty of Law, University of Malaya, 1993, he devoted himself entirely to Dharma service and practice in 1996, whereby he received the higher ordinary under the preceptorship, the most venerable Pa'au Sayadaw Myanmar in Myanmar. In 2006, he was assigned the task of teaching meditation by Sayadaw, and in 2008, he led a group of young Bhikkhu Sangha to establish Tusita Hermitage in Kuching. And you can actually visit tusitainternational.net for further detail about Bante Dharma's work. Now today, just to make sure that everybody is aware, we are going to start doing the guided meditation session shortly. However, due to limited internet connection in the Dharma Earth Center, Bante U. Mangala has only sent us this particular pre-recorded guided meditation session. So as well as Dharma sharing as well. So Bante will join us in the last 15 minutes to take any question that you may have. So I'm going to shortly play the guided meditation session and you just follow step by Bante. Before I just start, just to make sure that the Bihui, I still have problem with the Facebook Live. He keep on fetching but doesn't go live. Maybe I should try again.
Brother Hawking, it's not
Yes.
linked yet. Just hold on for a while, yeah?
Sister Piling, are you working on it? Yes.
Yeah, we are still working on it. Just a minute, brother.
Yeah. Can you see in the Facebook? Because I see from my side, the live streaming is already started. We currently have about 126 participants in the room.
Brother Hawking,
Yes.
Can you see from your side that it's already linked to Facebook?
Yeah, I'm trying to reconnect again to Facebook.
Okay, all right.
It was having some technical glitches. I'm not so sure why it keep on streaming but not publishing it.
Yes.
Just
Okay,
try
we
to
just
connect it right now. Yes.
please, thank you. We wait
Yeah.
for a short.
It just keep on showing video streaming. Sister Piling, if we can't get it to go to live, we may have to go on.
Yes, please go ahead lah, brother.
Yeah, it's already 8:17 right now.
Yes.
To brothers, sisters in the Dhamma, I will announce play the guided meditation session by Bante Mangala. You just have to follow through step by step.
Let's start our session by paying homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay. First, let's sit comfortably and be relaxed. First, take a deep breath deeply. And as you breathe out, you relax. Breathe in deeply again. As you breathe out, relax. So we start by wishing ourselves to be free from enmity, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering, and may we be able to take care of ourselves happily. Averohomi Abhyapajohomi Anigohomi Sukhiyatanam pariharami Averohomi Abhyapajohomi Anigohomi Sukhi atanang pariharami. We deeply wish for ourselves. May I be free from enmity, free from mental suffering, free from physical suffering. May I take care of myself happily. And then let us send metta to people around us. Similarly, we wish them be free from enmity, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. Avera hontu abhyapaja hontu aniga hontu sukhi atanang pariharantu. Avera hontu abhyapaja hontu aniga hontu sukhi atanang pariharantu. In our mind, we wish for the greater group, bigger group, all over Malaysia, all the people, all the beings in Malaysia. Avera hontu abhyapaja hontu aniga hontu sukhi atanang pariharantu. Avera hontu abhyapaja hontu aniga hontu sukhi atanang pariharantu. Now we think of all beings in the world, all beings, big and small, on earth, in the water, in the air, seen or unseen. May they be free from enmity. May they have no mental suffering, no physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily. Avera hontu abhyapaja hontu aniga hontu sukhi atanang pariharantu. Abhyapaja hontu Aniga hontu Sukhiyatanam pariharantu. Now we think of all beings in the universe, in all direction, east, west, north and south, southeast, northwest, northeast and southwest, below and above. From the highest beings to the lowest beings, from the Arupa or the Brahma to the hell Avicii, all beings, seen or unseen, big or small, without exception. May they be free from enmity, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May they take care of themselves happily, rightly. Avera hontu Abhyapaja hontu Aniga hontu Sukhiyatanam pariharantu. 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 Avera hontu Abhyapaja hontu Aniga hontu Suki atana pariharantu. Okay, you can stop. Take a deep breath and slowly open your eyes. Take a few deep breaths and you can stop the session.
Thank you so much, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, that we just completed the guided meditation session by Bante U Mangala. Later on, we're going to continue with the Dhamma sharing session by Bante as well. Unfortunately, Bante will not be with us, so this is going to be the pre-recorded session for about 40 minutes. And after the session of Dhamma, we hope by then Bante will be in the room to help us to answer if there's any question and at all from all of you. Okay, I'm now going to share the Dhamma's sharing by Bante. So today's topic is Dhamma power in crisis. Dhamma power in crisis. So let's pay attention to Bante Dhamma sharing.
Let's start our session with paying homage to the Buddha. Let's fold our palms. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma, today let's talk about how to apply Dhamma powers in crisis. You know, now everyone, we are undergoing a great challenge, the whole world. So at this moment, the Dhamma is particularly relevant to us because we have to face one of the most difficult challenge for a long time to come. Since a long time, since the Second World War, they say this is one of the biggest challenges since Second World War. It's more serious than the 2008 financial crisis. This time, we are going to face a difficult time. In fact, many of you might have started to experience the difficulty already. Not only the lockdown, but also the risk which may happen to life and to our economic conditions, to the living. So at this time, what can we do? There are certain things we can do, and there are certain things we may not be able to do. For example, the external condition. When this crisis, this contagious disease will go away, this we can't say. We can only participate and contribute our part, but we can't say exactly when it will go away. So what can we do? So in this aspect, there are two things which we can try to do. If we can achieve, then we can say we have made the best out of the present situation. So the first thing is to endure, to get through, to last through this crisis. Then the second thing, to optimize, make the best out of the given situation that we are in. These are the two things. And it's exactly for these two things which is within our ability to do, to achieve. Other things we can't say. We can't say we want the whole world to change or whatever. Of course we can aspire, get more people to aspire together and pray and wish for together. That's good. That increases the group power. But eventually, the most important thing is ourselves. How can we endure it beautifully, nicely, peacefully? And how can we optimize this crisis? How can we do? So for these two things, our Dhamma is very helpful. Very, very helpful. Basically, there are two categories of big Dhamma. Two categories, which is very helpful. One is the wisdom category. How to apply the Dhamma. This is the wisdom part. Another one is emotional one. I will use compassion. In fact, it will include loving kindness, appreciative joy, etc. But I use the word compassion, particularly to represent the emotional group of wholesome Dhamma. So wisdom and compassion, we can use these two big group of Dhamma, wisdom and compassion, to help us to achieve these two things. The power to endure and the power to optimize. So how we should do it? First is the power of non-self. This is the most powerful thing. In any crisis, any difficulty, when our mind is challenged, under challenge, we have to face pressure and difficulty. At that time, apply this non-self understanding and a kind of selflessness also. If we can apply this, we can get through the hard time so much better. And we can apply our wisdom so well if we can apply this. Okay, but this is a very profound. Different people will understand this quality, non-self, differently. Depends on the level of understanding of Dhamma and level of practice. The simplest one to say is when we have a non-self in our mind, understanding, bring to our mind the non-self understanding, whether by reflecting over non-self or by, for those practitioners who experience it, then bring up this experience of non-self again and again. Okay. So the simplest way of understanding it, not complete, but simplest way of looking at it is like non-self will carry the quality, like the space, like space. So if the mind, we dwell in the understanding of non-self, our mind will equip itself with the quality of space. Look at space. You try to catch it, you can't catch space. You try to punch it, you can't punch space. You cannot get hurt because the Buddha said it doesn't establish anywhere. This is given in the Maha Rahula Sutta, in the text. When the Buddha advised Venerable Rahula, let the mind be like the space, learn from the space. Because the space doesn't establish itself anywhere. So if we put our mind down in space-like state, not to make the mind like space, no. You don't need to imagine the mind is like space, the body like space, no. Just cultivate or reflect upon the qualities of space, which doesn't establish itself anywhere. It doesn't crave on, it doesn't reject anything, there's no holding, grasping, and no rejecting. Because the quality of doesn't establish anywhere. Such a quality is very powerful. So, if you dwell in your mind, like the space, even for a few minutes, you find peace settle into your mind so quickly. Let everything come. The mind which is like the space, don't go and fight. Just let everything come and go. This is the first quality before we want to achieve anything. Because it frees us from a lot of grasping, a lot of attachment, and a lot of impurities. The mind will be very resilient, very powerful which can take any blows, any setbacks, and be unshaken. Space-like quality because of non-self. But of course, you can uplift your non-self understanding. Depends on how. It doesn't come overnight, but your daily practice, reflecting on the Dharma, reading the Dharma, and you do your practice of samatha and vipassana, especially vipassana, then the understanding of non-self get deepened. But at least you can start off with space-like quality. If non-self, space, let the mind cultivate the quality like space, which neither crave nor reject, no wanting, no rejecting. Let whatever that comes and goes by themselves. So this will help. This is the first thing which will help us to be able to endure whatever difficulties, threats and risks and anxieties. We can let go. Then the second thing which will increase our power to endure is the art of living in the present moment. This is best summarized in the Bhaddekarata Gatha in the Majjhima Nikaya. It says that don't attach to past, future and present experiences, which is the past, future and present materiality, feeling, perception, mental formations and consciousness. Or the other way of putting it is, do not attach to, do not crave for the past, future and present experiences of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body and mind. So in short, it means don't attach to any past, future and present experience. That's the meaning of living in the present moment. Don't crave. It doesn't mean you cannot reflect on the mistakes of the past as a history, as a lesson. No. It doesn't mean you cannot plan for your future. No. It doesn't mean that. It means you don't live by craving past, future and present experiences. So this is the art of living in the present moment. You always have a presence of mind. The mind is always pure. If you want to study history, you study history. You want to make a plan, you make a plan. You want to live moment to moment, day by day. That's very good. So this is the art of living in the present moment. You want to have a further understanding, read up the suttas, a few suttas about Bhaddekarata Gatha, these Bhaddekarata suttas. You can read up in Majjhima Nikaya. This will give you further understanding how to apply the art of living in the present moment. But in simple terms, it means that try not to crave to any experience. Just live fully in the present moment. It also gives us some understanding about relevance. You don't waste time on what is irrelevant. The past is past. The future is not yet come. That's exactly given in the Bhaddekarata Gatha. Do not cling to the past, do not cling to the future, because past has passed, future not yet come. And live fully in the present moment, wholeheartedly, ardently, fully, with full awareness, mindfulness, in the present moment. So even you may face big difficulty like your job or whatever, you may have to lose a job, your business may be affected, your debt may accumulate, whatever. But at least, certain things we have to deal. Later we will talk about how to optimize our resources to face it, to solve the problem properly. We still need to solve the problem. But before we solve it, first let us not be affected by it. Reduce the negative impact, emotional impact to us. Because that's the only way we can apply wisdom. If we cannot overcome the emotional problem caused by the crisis, which is actually caused by our internal weakness, then it is difficult. It's difficult to find a solution of it. So first, be unaffected. This is always the first rule before we want to overcome any difficulties. You want to surmount any difficulties. The first thing is always live in a balanced way, be able to put our mind in such a state which it can apply wisdom and compassion. Then it can apply other Dhamma powers. We are able to invoke other Dhamma powers in our life to solve problems. But first, be unaffected. Whatever outcome, whatever happened to us, be unaffected. So this, the art of living in the present moment, is helpful. On top of the practice of non-self and reflecting, cultivate the quality of non-self, and then we live in the present moment. Be calm and peaceful, at peace with ourselves. Knowing that lives, bad things happen all the time. In fact, in the rounds of birth and death, the experiences of crisis is countless, uncountable. You cannot count enough. So what can we do? You just have to face it. In fact, in future, as long as you have not attained parinibbana, in future there are plenty of crises going to come. Never. Samsara is like that. This is the nature of samsara. So with that understanding, we make ourselves be at peace with ourselves, keep calm, and learn how to face it in the best way. So cultivate the qualities of non-self, cultivate the art of living in the present moment, then mindfulness. How to apply mindfulness? Basically, in the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, it says be mindful of the body, feeling, mind, and mental objects. Again, it means almost everything. Almost everything is there. All our experiences of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, all can be included. So, if when you find anxious and difficulty, you can practice simple practice like just now we do the metta meditation. Just wish for good for yourself and good for others. Good for the whole world. This will calm the mind. And for those who have practiced according to Satipatthana Sutta or Mahasatipatthana Sutta, I think many people have practiced this Anapanasati like Kayanupassana. And if you have practiced up to Vedana, Chitta, Dhamma, Nupassana, it's good, better still. So let's say, choose an example. In the Kayanupassana Satipatthana, the first chapter is talks about Anapanasati, Babang. So you look at it, breathing, for those who have practiced, but now we don't teach here. It takes some time to teach. So those who have practiced, if you can practice mindfulness on the breathing, so it keeps the mind calm and steady. Then after that, you can apply other dhammas to help you solve the problem. Then another thing is equanimity. Sometimes you feel upset or worked up because thinking that, oh, my beloved ones, so many friends are affected, those people are affected, my countrymen are affected. So at that time, practice equanimity. This is one of the Brahma Vihara, the sublime abiding practice. So how to do? You can, the key is sabbe satta kamma sakka. All beings are owners of their karma. So whatever happened, we try to help, but at the same time, we are fully aware that they are the owner of their karma. We are the owner of our karma also. So it's just cause and effect. If it were to happen, it happened. But in the understanding of dependent origination, we don't lay back and say, well, everything is supposed to happen because of karma. No. We try to do something because what we are doing presently is new causes. That's also very important. But before we take that step, first let's be able to accept realities, happenings, come to terms with it, face it, accept it. That's very important. So this equanimity practice allows us to accept it with a peaceful mind that these things happen because of beings' karma. So some karma were to be exhausted. That's it. Okay, in this way, we reflect on the truth that all beings are the owners of their karma. Then we can keep our mind peaceful and equanimous. Then, for some people who have practiced higher, you can even, because of taking the ultimate realities of objects, or materiality and mentality, you can practice clear comprehension of non-delusion, asamoha sampajana. This is very wonderful. This is very wonderful. But anyway, that's a bit tough for beginners. But you can reflect on realities. That realities will give us a clear comprehension. I just briefly go through. For those who know, they will already know. But for those who want to learn, it will take some time. Then, this wisdom is very important. The wisdom of seeing things as they really are with insights. Yatha bhutang jnana dasanam. This is given by the Buddha in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the discourse on the turning of the Dhamma wheel. Seeing things as they really are. And for those who have practiced high level of wisdom and vipassana, you can see anicca, dukkha, anatta, impermanence, suffering, and non-self. And you can see a lot of realities, dependent origination arising and passing away. So that will give us strengthen the mind to be able to endure, to face up with difficulties. Whether the problem gets solved or not, we can take it well. But for those who have difficulty, then this wisdom you can apply, this principle we can actually apply, or you call it methodology, you can apply in various levels. You can practice a very high level of wisdom with vipassana insight. And you can also apply just on a very day-to-day basis. Like, I try to see things as they really are. If you try to see things as they really are, at least you can easily understand, not to say very high knowledge, you just can easily understand what are the relevant things and what are irrelevant. What can we do about this? If we can see this simple, if I cannot do anything about it, take it. If I can do something about it, do it. Why worry? Why anxiety? Anxiety never helps. So these are things, we try to see things, what is there in front of us, what are the difficulties, what are the possibilities, what I can do about it, what I can't do about it. So this will bring us to another power, the power to optimize. You see, the first rule is always the power to endure. If we can't endure, it's very difficult. When our mind gets worked up, full of anxieties, it's all in a mess. How are we going to do something to optimize? Not possible. It's very difficult. You want to help ourselves, also very difficult, because the mind is all in a mess, all so distraught. So first, you always cultivate the power to endure with what we just talked about it, the non-self, space-like mind qualities, the art of living in the present moment, mindfulness practice. Of course, if you have concentration, wisdom practice, good. Then equanimity, then a clear comprehension of non-delusion. Okay? Seeing things as they really are. So this helps us the ability to let go. Even just this one thing, live in the present moment. This helps us a lot about letting go. We can let go. Then we can move on. Once our mind is calm and pure and peaceful, then that is the time we are able, we have the ability to use our wisdom, to use our EQ, our emotional intelligence, our love, our compassion. So positive qualities we need, not only the more quiet energy to take it and just accept it and bear up. This is one. But the ability to work out something, to make the best of a given situation. This is the power to optimize. So for that, we cultivate a few things. First, emotional intelligence. These are modern terms. But in the Buddhism, we say the sublime abidings, loving kindness, like just how we did, loving kindness meditation. That was a simple one. You can do a more extensive way if you would like to. But even the simple one helps a lot. Then compassion, because you are seeing a lot of suffering. So compassion, the object is suffering and causes of suffering. This can be our object. So when we see people do bad things, oh, have compassion for them. Oh, they are doing the bad things. When people are suffering, the result of their karma, oh, we have compassion for them. So this then give us a very powerful mind. Of course, when we can actually alleviate people's suffering, we should do something about it. We should not just say, I wish all the best to you and don't do anything. When we can do, we do. But when we can't do, at least our mind have the good qualities. Not stone-hearted. We have a loving, soft heart towards others and wish they be free from suffering and may they be free from the evil, so the causes of suffering. Then of course, the appreciative joy, mudita, if you practice this. So these metta, karuna, mudita, these are very good qualities. When we want to do something for others, this is very important. Love actually is part of love. Different aspect of love. Then we love others. Okay? Actually, in difficult times, love is most powerful. The genuine love, selfless love, pure love. We call loving kindness, we call it compassion, we call it appreciative joy. This is supported by equanimity. These kind of emotions, positive emotion, bright emotion, unshakable emotions, indestructible. You cannot destroy a pure love, a good compassion. You cannot destroy such quality. Only the impure one, like you have a sympathy, you're attached to the object, attached to people, then you cannot afford to see people suffer and you feel so painful when the beloved one suffer. That is not so. That is not, we don't call that under EQ. The real EQ is the pure loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, supported by equanimity. Okay? Then again, the three clear comprehension. Just now we talk about clear comprehension, non-delusion. For those who have practiced, who are able to practice that, that's very good. That makes your mind very resilient, very able to take whatever shocks and pressure. But this clear comprehension of purpose, suitability, and domain, it gives us the ability to execute something, to apply our mental power, our internal power and external power efficiently. The first is Sattaka Sampajana, clear comprehension of purpose. You always remember what you are going to do. Of course, for the Buddhists, we always say the most important thing is Four Noble Truths, the liberation, getting the overcoming of suffering. Yes, but in the worldly aspect, it means like you just need to be purposeful, be clearly, don't waste your time on useless things. For example, grumble. Grumble is not purposeful. It is wasting the energy, bringing our mind more down and causing the listeners of us more down emotionally. After you talk about it, you feel all the energy get depleted and weak. That is not having clear comprehension of purpose. So when we have clear comprehension of purpose, we don't deviate. We want to solve problem. When we study problem, we actually want to solve problem. You see, the Buddha didn't teach only the first noble truth of suffering, not only the noble truth of original suffering. No, the Buddha also teaches about the cessation of suffering, which is our goal and our hope, and the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which is our method, what we can do to solve it. So if we have clear comprehension of purpose, we want to solve problem, we want to live better, we want to overcome suffering. So with that, we don't squander our precious mental energy on useless things. No, useless things that are irrelevant. We should work on what are relevant, what we can change to make a difference. These things are relevant. What we cannot do anything about it. It is beyond our ability to make a change, to make a difference. All those things are irrelevant. A spiritual milk is irrelevant to us. What is relevant is how to clean it up. That's relevant. But it's already spilled on the ground. You can't recover a spilled milk, so it is irrelevant. So that's very important. Okay. So clear corruption purpose, then clear corruption suitability. Is it suitable? And I do like this, is it suitable? When I grumble, is it suitable? No, it is not suitable, it won't help. So work on what is helpful. So if you think like that, what are the suitable conditions? Helping can make things better. Suitable conditions. Okay, sapaya sampajana. Of course, in the spiritual way aspect, we means, we actually means the things which facilitate our journey to realize Four Noble Truths. But in this aspect, you can try to apply, even in the worldly sense. The principle is the same, even though sapaya sampajana, as precisely it actually means those things which are helpful for our liberation. But you can apply this principle in our daily life context, secular life context. Then domain, that means you don't deviate from your meditation object. So in this case, don't deviate from the task at hand. So we apply the similar principle to the training given in the clear comprehension training. Okay. So with that, then another thing which is helpful for us to optimize. When we want to optimize our action, whether it's action or inaction, we want to optimize to produce the best result. Then this understanding of dependent origination is very, very crucial to us. In simple terms, it means things happen because of conditions and things vanish because of conditions. Success happens because of conditions of success, conducive for success, and failure or suffering happens because of the conditions facilitating suffering or failure accumulate and comes together. They come together. So with this understanding, we will develop a very good and very wholesome attitude in facing, in doing something about it. It is like, things are, there's no self there. You cannot command. Even our materiality, our feeling, our perception, our mental formation and our consciousness, our materiality and mentality, we cannot just force it. No. You cannot. In order to do something, even just to be mindful, you need to train up. So this is like, we can do something, make a change by putting in right input, right conditions. That is the way to, we Buddhists try to make a change in our life. That's what we are trying to do. But not by brute force and by craving a one this result. No, we work very hard. We sincerely put in our right input, right effort to make a change. But we don't crave, because the moment we have a strong craving, we are motivated by craving, then the cause is not pure. But if we are motivated with compassion, motivated with good aspiration, then that is a pure motivation. So in the Abhidhamma terms, it means like chanda and lobha. Chanda, you can have a very pure, wholesome desire to do something. It is good. But if you have an impure desire, it's actually the mental state. In Abhidhamma, we call lobha, greed. So try not to be motivated by greed. Try to be motivated by the right cause, compassion, aspiration, which is the right input. So this dependent origination understanding, of course, is very profound. We just try to apply, try to touch on some simple principle of it. It means put in the right condition. Don't put in the wrong condition in our life. Don't. Right condition. Put in. Right input. That's very important. Then try to apply, copy from the Buddha, the methodology of Four Noble Truths. You see, the Buddha always first identifies suffering, the Noble Truth of suffering, which is actually equivalent to saying that we need to understand our problem at hand. Then the origin of suffering, which actually equivalent to say that you need to know the causes of a problem. Then there's the cessation of suffering. We should have confidence that things will go away. Eventually all this will come and pass. Okay? But with the right effort, we can make them pass better, in a better way. Okay? Pass on to a better result. So this is so we have hope. You feel hopeful, don't feel despair. Hope. Then the path leading to the cessation of suffering, which actually means like, you know your goal, and you need to know what are the causes conducive for the materialization of the goal, the achievement, the fulfillment. So you work on the causes. So in this way, the mind will not be negative, only problem-minded. The mind which has a spirit of Four Noble Truth, the mind actually will be solution-minded as well. Of course, we need to face the problem, but we should pay more attention. Once we understand the problem well, we should pay more attention to solution, what we can do about it. So this is very important. This empower us to optimize the present situation. In the Chinese language, crisis means wei ji. Wei is danger, crisis, but ji is actually opportunity. So if you understand that, which is very good, I think the Chinese word is very good, wei ji is very good. So crisis it's not only that, it comes with opportunity as well. There are a lot of things. Look at it, what we can do about it. After the whole bad things happen, then we actually, there are certain good, bad karma get exhausted. If we pass through this state very well, endure it very well, surely we accumulate good causes while we are enduring. We accumulate good causes. When these things come to pass, we will rise up very well. So again, this wisdom, seeing things as they really are, with insights. This is also very helpful, because ask ourselves, in any situation, in any crisis, what can we do? What is possible? What is not possible? What are possible? What are impossible? Work on the possible. Work on the relevant. So this will give us the power. Then we will know. Once we know the causes for right result, then naturally we know what to do, how to work on the causes. So this is it. So as a conclusion, it boils down to two things. You see, when we say the power to endure and power to optimize, in all our discussion, there are two big groups of mind qualities. One is wisdom and one is compassion. One is the wisdom, rational part. One is the emotional part. So both are important. We need to take care of our emotion well, and we also need to allow our mind to be in a state wherein we can apply our wisdom. We can apply our strength, our courage, our faith qualities, and our ability to solve problems, to come out from all this difficulty. So these two categories, emotional part, which love and compassion, and the wisdom part, the non-self, seeing things as they really are, and living in the present moment. These are all comes under the wisdom part. So as a conclusion, when we want to apply Dharma powers in this difficult time, in crisis, we want to achieve using the Dhamma to give us the ability to endure and to optimize. Okay, these are the qualities. Let's recapitulate. To power to endure, cultivate non-self, reflect on the qualities of space, so to develop the space-like quality, which is doesn't establish itself anywhere. It's very free and open and spacious. Then the art of living in the present moment, work on the present moment, then practice mindfulness in your daily life, then concentration on wisdom as well, and equanimity, knowing that beings are the owner of their karma. So be able to come to terms, accept whatever that happened. And for those who can go one step further, apply clear comprehension of non-delusion, asamwa sampajana, and see things as they really are with insights. Always try to understand things as they really are, not superficially, deeply. Then after that, when the mind is in a position to apply wisdom, then practice, try to invoke the power of Dhamma to optimize. Then remember, cultivate good EQ, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy. Let the mind not be shaken by happenings. Then again, clear comprehension of purpose, whether it's suitable, whatever we do, fitting the purpose, our purpose or not. Suitability, whether it's a suitable conditions for our purpose. And domain, what I supposed to do. Don't get distracted. Be focused on what we're supposed to do continuously until it bears fruits. And work on the relevant part. Don't waste the mental energy on the irrelevant things. And also know that the mechanism, the science which enable us to make a change in our life is actually dependent origination. Things happen because of conditions only. So we work on the right conditions for the good things to materialize, and we try to remove, pull away any of the wrong conditions, conditions for bad happenings. Try to remove that, the defilements, the impurities, the wrong approach. Then always try to understand the problem and the causes, and have confidence that things eventually this can be overcome, and work on the causes. What we can do, be solution-minded, and see things as they really are with insights. Know what is possible, work on what is possible. Know what are impossible, don't waste our time on the impossible. So eventually with that, we can apply the wisdom group and the emotional compassion group and love others. So with that, we should be able to get through this crisis with Dhamma powers. Of course, we can do a lot of aspirations, prayer. These are all good. Not to say share marriage to the devas, to the guardians. These are all good. A lot of wholesome things are good. Do a lot of wholesome things. A lot of wholesome things. Need to change, make a change of our karma. Do a lot of wholesome works. So with that, let me wish all of you have a good experience, good Dhamma practice during this crisis, this difficult time, and use the time to the best of your ability, and may the world be free from this suffering as soon as possible. May all be well, happy, healthy, and peaceful. So let's share merit, recite together. With aspiration, first aspiration, may this condition be supporting for my overcoming of causes of suffering, and be a supporting condition for the realization of Nibbana, and we share this merit with equally with all beings. Yedang me punyang asawa kaya wahang hotu, yedang me punyang nibbana sapacayo hotu, mama punya bagang sabba sattanang bhajemi, te sabe me samang punya bagang labantu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sadhu Bante, thank you so much. By the way, brothers sisters in the Dhamma, we have Bante Umangala actually in the room with us today. We are very honored to have Bante with us. If there is any question at all from the room, I like you to raise the hand using the emoji under the participants. You can actually raise hand, and I will call your name and unmute yourself before asking question to Bante. Yeah, who is that speaking? Brother Yap, is it? Or Miss Yap?
太大声。
CH Yap.
这
Okay.
个是雪莉。
All right. You have any question, you can raise your hand. Raise your hand using the emoji. Then Bante can actually answer the question. Ling Chui Ling, I see you unmute. You want to ask question?
No.
No? If you do not want to ask question, please mute yourself.
Okay.
Yes. Anata Bodhi, I see you also unmute. You like to ask question?
Oh no, we're good. Thank you.
Okay. Redmi, who is using a Redmi? If you want to also chat in the room, we can also read the question as well. Many of you actually unmute yourself. So anyone would like to speak up, can you speak up so that Bante can hear you? Yes, go on.
Okay, Brother Hong In, since
Okay.
nobody talking, Sister
Okay, Sister
Piling,
Piling, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Hong In. Bante, ni hao. Thank you for agreeing to our invitations.
Okay, Suki.
Yes. Yeah, I read here there is a question asking whether there is a translation into Chinese.
The talk is too
Summary.
long.
Maybe later a summary in Mandarin. Is it possible?
Well, I think it's a bit tough. It takes quite some time. Yeah. But in brief 啦 ，in brief，OK， 我讲华语。基本上呢，今天讲的是在危机中怎么用法的力量，怎么发挥法的力量。基本上呢是有两组，两大组的法的力量，一组是属于智慧的，一组是就是理性的，一组是属于慈悲喜舍那种比较感性的。所以通过这两种力量呢，让我们能够在遇到危机的时候，开发出两种应对的能力，一种就是忍耐、承担、忍耐啊、承担啊、承受的能力，就是不会遇到危机而崩溃。然后第二种能力呢，我讲 optimize， 就是终极。在这个危机中，怎么把危机用得最好？这个叫做终极，就是善用危机。中文呢，这个我自己创那个字眼来代表这个 optimize 翻译中间的中，极端的那个极，就是极点的极。所以终极就是我用它来翻译这个 optimize。就是在平衡的状态下，怎样把一个处境、一种条件用得最好。所以它是两个，一个是属于 passive 的，一个是 active 的。passive 的就是你能够忍耐，能够化解，能够承担，能够不要被粉碎，不要动摇，不要被危机伤害到你的心。然后呢，第二种呢就是积极的回应。通过爱的力量啊，慈悲的力量啊，行动的力量，然后做你能做的，在危机中做自己所能做的。所以呢，这里就有不同的法的力量去承担的。在承担方面呢，无我的力量，如果不能很深入的了解无我的人呢，也可以用类似无我的一些品质，比如说像虚空般的品质，它就跟无我就有很多相似的地方，没有要，没有不要，没有抓取，没有抗拒，然后活在当下的那种品质，活在当下，然后保持正念的品质，无痴明觉的品质等等。所以通过这种力量如实知见，让我们的心呢很有承担力，然后那个舍心也会很强。所以我们就不容易在一个危机中受伤，不容易受伤。 不容易被摧毁，我们的心的力量还能够很好的保持，这样子。然后呢，就是积极终极的力量，善用一种处境，你都不能逃避了，反正危机已经来了，你避也避不开。那避不开怎么办呢？就是通过自己的正面的力量去行动，通过我们的慈悲喜舍啊，通过我们的那个正面的反应啊，去采取行动，如实之间啊，看看能做些什么啊，然后把注意力放在相关的地方啊，这些，所以这些是属于正面的力量，让我们也能够如实之见什么是相关，什么不相关，然后呢，如何运用缘起的智慧，为我们的生命注入因缘。我们讲不强求，但是我们注入因缘，然后通过注入因缘呢，我们能够在这个缘起的现象里，我们不能够完全主宰的现象里面呢，注入正面的因缘、正能量，然后呢，让我们的整体因缘的那个这个配套吧，或者是组合吧，能够调整过来，然后让我们比较有机会更度过的更好。所以大概今天讲的这个应付危机的，基本上就是这样。主要就是我们新的理性的法的力量跟感性的法的正面的法的力量。理性的主要是以智慧为代表，当然还有勇气啊、信心那些啦。那么呢，感性的呢，就是我们的慈悲喜舍这个为代表，这样子，这样的，当然理性跟感性结合，产生承担的能力，还有终极去正面做出正面反应的那种能力，这样呢，我们就能够在遇到危机的时候呢，能够过得比较好，更好，好，就这样子。
谢谢 Bante.
Honoring.
Bante,
Yes.
if I may ask a question,
Mm-hmm.
I actually find that the way that you have put in the formula of the Four Noble Truths in overcoming the problems that we are facing now is actually very refreshing. But one thing that I do note that what is popularly taught is actually of the four Brahma Viharas, it is Metta. Can Bante maybe recommend some simple steps as to how from Metta we can put into practice Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha? Can you hear me, Bante?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
So Bante, just my question is, how do we apply this in very simple steps in this current present moment? Yes, Metta is actually popularly taught. A lot of us know how to apply Metta, but what about in terms of Karuna, in terms of Mudita, in terms of equanimity? Can Bante recommend some very simple steps?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bante.
Actually, you see, Metta is the idea is to wish the good things to others, wish them be free from mental suffering, wish they have no mental suffering, no danger, no mental suffering, no physical suffering, and may they take care of themselves. So, yeah. When we translate, it seems like I want to talk about Metta first before I go to Karuna. So it's actually a very positive kind of energy, positive kind of wishes. Even though when we translate, we put into like negative. Actually, you're wishing people to have mental health and physical health, and safe things like that. But Karuna is the idea of Karuna is like wish them be free from suffering or the causes of suffering. That is actually the Karuna. So the wish traditionally is may this person be free from suffering, dukkha muchantu. Either you use sabesata all beings or ayang yuparisa or whatever. This gentleman or whatever, depends on you, which one you direct to. Usually we just think of the object, then we feel, may they be free from this suffering. So sometimes if you do metta, sometimes if your mind is directed towards people suffering, and you might end up wishing the person to be free, to get out of that suffering. Then sometimes even in the course of practicing metta, the mental state of karuna may appear also. So the whole idea is we are using the wish to bring up certain qualities. So if you wish people to be lonely, the object is suffering, you wish them to be free from that suffering, then that quality of mind is karuna. If you wish the person to be not having suffering, to be good, that is metta. Now the person is not good, you wish the person to get rid of that suffering. That is karuna. So language is language, but the wish is, you can use whatever language you like. If you wish the person, you look at the person suffering, you wish, oh, may this person don't suffer like that. Get over his suffering quickly. So even you call it metta, the mental state will be karuna. The mental state will be karuna. So karuna is the quality that you see the object is suffering, is a cause of suffering. The person is doing evil. So, oh, please stop. May he not do this anymore. Don't do these wrong things again. May he meet wise people, not to meet. So this kind of wish in your mind is actually bring out the karuna quality. So it's very simple. It can be any language. You can use any language. Any system. It will bring out the karuna qualities. Of course, when you want to practice karuna jhana, then you better go by the systematic way as given in the path of purification, which is Vimagga. But if you want a simple way, it's just any wish. Any wish which, may be free from, may the person, oh, now the person is in danger. Oh, please be free from danger. So even though that seems to be the wish classified under metta, but it will be karuna. So if the object, if you are focusing on the suffering or the cause of suffering of the person or a group of people or one person, then you wish that suffering or the cause of suffering to go away, that will be karuna. Okay? Then the mudita is, so any wish, any language actually. Sometimes you may even use the language like the metta wish, but if the mind is directed to the suffering of people, even you use a metta wish, but the mind quality is to wish the person to be to get out of that suffering. It will be karuna actually. So it's the quality of mind that counts. It's the language is language. Depends on how you understand your language also. Actually the metaphor wishes should be positive one, but when we translate, it end up like wanting someone to be free to get out of the suffering. So actually, it means you want the mental health of the person, the physical health of the person. So karuna is different. Karuna is you really think of the suffering or cause of suffering of that person, and you really wish that person to be free from that. That will be karuna. So you can use any language, any language. You can use Cantonese, Hokkien. You can wish maybe may this person get out of this failure. You see the person suffer failure, exam or business or whatever. Oh, may he be free from this kind of failure, this kind of bad fortune. That will be karuna. But to practice karuna meditation, that is different. We want to do it consistently again and again. We don't distract ourselves with very complicated wishes. We just repeat the same wish again and again. So that the mind can be very focused towards jhana development. That is different. That one we cannot teach just like that. We have to follow certain rules and certain things. So you have to go to proper meditation teacher who can teach you. You have to learn from an expert. So, but generally in simple terms, any wish, you wish people to be free from suffering, that will be karuna. And then the mudita. So you wish
people are in good state, success, good fortune, wealth, beauty, whatever good things, especially wealth or health. So you say, oh, may this good state not be lost. It's to overcome jealousy. You wish sometimes it's easy to be loving and compassion to other people, but when someone surpasses you, then you may not be able to take it. So this is lacking mudita. A part of our love quality is defective. It's a handicap already. So at that time, if we can wish, oh, may this person's good health, success, name, fame, or whatever, not be lost. So if you have this kind of thought arise in your mind, that is already cultivating of mudita. So to cultivate, to make it powerful, we repeat the same wish again and again. May the good fortune of this person, the well-being of this person not be lost. That is a mudita. So you repeat that wish again and again, in whatever language you like, then it will be mudita. So simple. Metta is you wish good. Karuna, you wish the bad to go away. The mudita, you wish the good one to remain, to sustain. That is. Then the upeka equanimity is a mental state. It is a quality of the mind which is very balanced, supported by wisdom. And what is this wisdom? Wisdom is the awareness and understanding, penetration insight into the truth of life. What truth? Truth that beings are the owners of their karma. If we have this understanding very deeply, you're reflecting, oh, beings are the owners of the karma. But if you have practiced vipassana, you can actually, if you have practiced dependent origination, you actually see how beings, past causes produce a present result, and the present causes produce a future result. If you have practiced vipassana up to the point you can see dependent origination, how the past affect the present, past life, present life, future lives. Then at that time, this upeka is even more strong and powerful. You just need to pay attention to the fact that they are the owners of the karma. So these will be very powerful. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Then because that understanding will bring up, I will just conclude it in 1 minute. That understanding will bring up the equanimity. That beings are owners of the karma. Okay, that is simple. Okay.
Okay, Bante, there's also another question.
Okay.
How to meditate on space quality for beginners?
Actually, it is more like a reflection. It is not space quality as given as I suggested just now. That one is not the space kasina or space meditation. Yeah, if we say space kasina, space meditation, that's a very specific. It's impossible to teach in simple terms just like this. So we have to give a proper guidance step by step. So here I'm not. When I say space quality, it means like the reflection, as suggested by the Buddha to his son, Venerable Rahula, in the Maha Rahulawada Sutta. That one is reflect, knowing that the space doesn't establish itself anywhere. So when you reflect, same like now, you're looking in front, this is a space. So when you are suffering, let's say you feel bad, some people hurt you, you feel emotionally affected. Then you just look at this teacher in front of you. Just in front here. This teacher is a space. Of course, this is not a pure space. You have air inside. But you just take it as space. So you just reflect. Space doesn't establish itself anywhere. So why should I get hurt? I get hurt because I hold on to something. Whether ego or this is mine, this is I, these are the things. So when you reflect, let my mind be like the space. This is my teacher. Let my mind be like the space. similar to the space, having these space qualities, don't hold on anything. So this reflection is bring us to the understanding. So when you meditate, you sit down there, you close your eyes, you okay. Now when bad things is happening to you, two things happen in our life, body and mind. So the body may be congested here, heart feel difficult, my heart. So you just look at it, let if my mind is like the space, this physical bad feelings is just come and go. You just don't hold on to it. Don't say one thing or no rejecting. Because the mind doesn't, the space doesn't establish it anywhere. So if the mind that doesn't want to hold on to anything, it will just, okay, this is a physical thing. Okay, I don't do anything, just let them come and go by itself. Okay, then the mind which is a very narrow and very like screw up. So this kind of mind quality, if it's anxious, anxiety, you just look at it like, okay, well, let it be, let my mind be like the space. I don't say I don't want, it's just a mental state. I don't say I want, I don't say I don't want, just let it happen and pass by itself. Okay, so when you reflect like that, naturally mindfulness arises. You don't need to specially, you just need to reflect like that. Mindfulness naturally arises, and then you just let things take their own own time to pass, whether it's a physical phenomena or mental phenomena. So in this way, you let your mind develop the qualities like the space, by reflecting on the space quality. Just look at in front. How the space, you catch it, no, you can't be caught. You punch it, it can't be hurt. So tell yourself, okay, let my mind be like this. Let my mind be like this. Then slowly the qualities of the space like mind qualities will come to our mind. This is a simple way. Of course, the advanced way like samatha, the space kasina, and the arupas, jhanas, now more advanced. And then the vipassana, that is more powerful qualities of anatta.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a simple way.
Yeah, we can discuss that one next time. Let's ask, there's one more person asking question. Avi, can you actually unmute yourself and speak up?
Bhante, I would like to ask, if someone in a very bad conditions or health condition is very bad, he or she may not have the energy, not even have energy to reflect. So how we can help them, or encourage them to start to do at least for the first step?
Yeah, sometimes we do very little. We do whatever we can. Like right now, I'm helping one of the Xiale who just underwent brain surgery. Now is now in Zhongxin. So when she was like in coma state, at that time for about 2 weeks, we couldn't do anything. We just sent metta, which of course we couldn't do anything. So we just send our wishes, send metta. But once she start to recover some consciousness, some awareness, then that's something we start to see some hope. We can do something more directly. So say something good to her, and when I start to realize that she was aware, she could recover some awareness. So what I did is I tried to find something that she liked. I know she liked the Patana recitation, Hetu Pachayo, Aramana Pachayo, etc. So she respected Power Sayadawji's very much. So we put the Power Sayadawji's recitation, chanting. And then I'm her teacher, also put in some chanting, and her son will also say something. And then she respect Aryadhamma Mahathera's very much. We also put Mahathera's chanting. So if you put the player there, 24 hours, So with that, I think that uplift her mind. And then from Pa'ao, from Myanmar, there are many monks who know her because she serves the Sangha very well. So when she got into trouble, everyone, love her, send metta, they all record the video. So we let the video be, from the handphone play to her. So these are the things that we try to do. And I try to visit her whenever I can, every few days, or alternate days. So in this way, we give her encouragement. And one day I also went there, I said, oh, for many days you didn't recite the month's 10 precepts. So I will administer the 10 precepts to you. Then I could notice that she could not recite. But when I recite, I pause, and I recite, I pause, and expecting her to follow in her mind. Seems that after that, her mind get uplifted. So you see, it's a very lively, there's no fixed rule. So how we can help the person, it depends on our understanding on that person. It also depends on the good work the person has done. If a person has no faith, similarly, I meet another person, I could only do about the Sambamanga reciting because the person did not respond positively to me so much. So there's very little I could do is I just recite, but how much the person rejoices in my effort, and I can't say. But this nun, because she has been a very good nun in the past, so she responds to Dhamma very well compared to the other lay person. It's just next door, just two rooms away, But I go 2 places, but the person who accumulates a lot of good and inclination towards the Dhamma, who has very good Attasamapaniti, the Mangala, the mind rightly inclined. So such a person is quite easy. Seems the response these few days very good response from the what you call GCS, the GCS 3, even lower than 3. Now she comes back to, now today we get the report, she got the GCS 9. That means quite good awareness is coming back. So she's recovering very well, very well. Compared to, considering how much the injury she suffered, this is considered very good. Actually, it's quite a surprise. Quite a surprise to the doctors also. So depends. So that's why if a person want to get help, they are not everyone is not equal. If you do a lot of hard work, then by the time some bad karma ripen, then is in a better position to have another good karma to support. But people who don't do enough, and then they want to have an equal result, it's not possible. So we can just do whatever we can, but don't expect too much. Just don't expect unreasonably. What I mean is, don't expect unreasonably. If a person has never done much good for themselves, when the bad karma strike, you just do whatever you can. Yeah. But for people, that's why we have to tell people, be prepared. In samsara, we need a lot of marriage to support us. We don't all of us done enough bad. All of us done a lot of bad. Yes, all of us. So maybe you're aware or not aware only. So that's why we don't wait until bad things happen to us and expect the same result. No.
Okay, thank you, Bante.
That's how it's.
Yeah. There's one more question from the chat asking about during this pandemic for Western countries, how could they turn the risk into opportunity to learn and grow in terms of country level and personal level? From Sister Sally.
You see, the leaders have a lot to do, the leaders, and but if the leader is very poor, then it depends. Then the citizens, they are on themselves. The people are on themselves. But if the people blindly follow the leaders, that's too bad. That's yeah, it's true that everyone has bad karma, but the way they respond to the result of their karma can make a big difference in the final impact. The Buddha says that like the simile of a salt. You put the salt in the cup of water, and then or you put the salt into the Ganges River, because of the water quantity is different. If you approach a situation with wisdom, with compassion, with clarity of mind, with a right approach to cause and effect, then that is wisdom. Is like Ganges River that will make the whole impact of the ripening of bad karma completely different. So right now, you see in the West is you know, they squandered the opportunity. They got a lot of the window to help themselves, you know. But when that's why I came back from America, you know, last month very quickly. I realized before the outbreak, I already knew sure the outbreak was going to happen already. Within a few days, I knew it was going to happen. So I came out on the 15th last month, and it's true enough. By the time I arrived here on the 17th, it happened. It's because it is very clear that people take things for assume. People don't use the wisdom to see things as they really are. They just assume that this is a yellow skins people's business. You know, it's not going to happen to them. So when I was I went in and out of the airport a few times, I already saw, you know, but I decided, no, I don't care. I wore my mask, but I realized that people don't want to wear, you know, and then people look at us like with a very, you know, like you are alien, you are very strange, you are big people, you know, something like that. I sense some kind of discrimination, you know. People don't do it openly, but it's like even the stewardess look at me like a lot of sympathy for me like that, you know. So I know okay, it's okay, you know. You look at me with sympathy, never mind, you know. We have to be brave, you know. This is a bravery, a real bravery, you know. You don't care how people look at you. You must be clear, you know. If it is dangerous, you have to take precaution, you know. And we should not be naive that thinking that, you know, I'm a Dharma practitioner, I don't wear a mask. It's foolish, you know. We don't expect by praying to the Buddha will come and protect you from that. No, it's not the way. You know, in the Theravada, we don't believe that. It is our own karma. We have to work, you know, the real dependent origination wisdom is to, you know, to put in the right cause right now. What I can do, I should do. You know, if what you can do, you don't do, it's foolishness. So right now, it depends on the West. You know, if the West, the leaders are like that, you know, you see, even today, they are not applying wisdom. So if the leaders are foolish, then surely ruin their country. And then it depends on the people to protect themselves, each and every individual. Don't follow your leaders, don't follow your foolish leader. But if you still want to follow, or you feel that, oh, I feel embarrassed, everyone is not staying at home. So if I stay at home, I'm like weak, you know. So if you feel for the sake of your face, you want to risk your life, that's too bad. So right now what I see is they have a very poor leadership, especially America. Very, very poor leadership. And then the people, they are on their own. They have to apply their own wisdom to protect themselves. So it's still possible the people protect themselves. But if the people, they want to follow their leaders, they want to be brainwashed by their foolish kind of logic, very poor logic, then it's too bad. That's too bad. So you cannot blame all past karma. Maybe the past karma is just to make you fall into the mud. But the fact that you don't want to get out from the mud and wait for some miracle to happen, and end up dying, sinking down and die, that's too bad, you know. You cannot blame the karma. Karma maybe not so bad. Karma is just to make you fall into the mud. But it is our present action which we don't respond correctly to the result of our karma, which may not be so serious. But we aggravate it. That is can be fatal.
Yeah, totally agree with Bante lah. So I hope that answer.
What I see is past causes coupled with the present new cause. I think the present new cause is more serious than the past causes.
Yeah, totally agree with Bante. So I hope that answer question from Sister Sally. Galaxy Note 9, can you speak up? Let me just unmute you. Yeah, who is that speaking?
Chu.
Brother Chu, yes, you have question?
Bante, say 我们知道说这次的疫情 COVID-19 呢，我们已经做了scientific 的东西，像 social distancing，社交距离，穿 mask，保持身体健康。那么以法方面来说呢，我们如何让我们的这个，比方说 带起我们善业啊，即使已经有一些恶业啊，那么我们也让它能够减轻呢。So any specific measures in terms of Dharma, in the perspective of Dharma, that Bhante would like to advise? Thank you.
I think most important is still wisdom. You know, if we apply wisdom every moment and wisdom and mindfulness, then we'll keep our mind bright, positive, bring up the mind to the best. If you can have a lot of compassion and understanding, then that's the best. Then right now you cannot go out. If you can go out sometime, yeah, the life release also may help, you know. But usually it may not produce fruit. You know, you don't expect immediate change or difference. You know, what we can do is we just put in the right input into our everyday's life, moment to moment. Okay. To say there's a miraculous approach or Dhamma power which can wipe out this one, this is not so realistic. You know? Even you want to do the Ratana Sutta, you know, this kind of thing is like, you know. But the Ratana Sutta's efficacy of it also has there are a lot of conditions related. How much, how long have we keep the four precepts, you know, the non-lying precepts? And then how much the listeners believe in the efficacy of the Ratana Sutta. How much faith and understanding we have towards the Ratana Sutta. How much the listener, how much faith and understanding they have towards the Ratana Sutta. And a lot of conditions involved. We can do. Ratana Sutta is a suitable sutta to recite. And Hetu Pachayo, the 24 conditionings. But the efficacy of it has a lot to do with a lot of other conditions like the reciter's understanding, the wisdom, realization. So that will make the whole chanting and recitation more powerful or less powerful. So we should do regularly chanting, meditation, sharing your merits, the devas. Yeah. Just that don't have unrealistic expectation because recitation by a bodhisattva and by a arahant and by a person who have kept 4 precepts for many thousands of lives. So that will make a whole difference. The efficacy of our chanting. That will make the whole difference. So we do whatever we can, but should not have unrealistic expectation. We just do. But still the closer prevention is still the preventive actions, like stay away from the risk, you know, the scientific approach. Because this is Dhamma also, you know. The scientific laws is also Dhamma. You just need to know how the virus acts. This is Dhamma. How the virus acts, how the virus spread. This is Dhamma also, you know. Yes, natural laws. But people think of the miraculous one and think, but you break. This is the immediate Dhamma actually. How the virus, you know, spread from one to another. This is the immediate natural laws involved.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante. I see there's another brother Lo. You want to ask question? Yi Jun Lo, can you speak up?
Sorry, just now should I translate to in Chinese? 就是说我们 in brief 啦 I just briefly translate 就是说呢我们要最主要的帮助我们自己的呢还是用那个跟这个疫情相关的法啦，就是特别它的科学法则它怎么传播。但是我们当然可以诵经啊，诵经，但诵经的效果有很多的因素啦，我们到底有没有守第4戒啊，我们的正语守了多久啊？到底是一个功德啊，一个菩萨念这个3宝，念Ratana Sutta宝经，跟一个阿罗汉念啊，这些它的力量都不同。那我们可以做的当然是念宝经啊、保护经啊，这些都可以做，越多越好。放生啊，这些能做的都做。但是呢，就是 要记得啦，不要有不合理的期望，就是这样。OK, next.
Mr. Low, your
Yeah,
question?
please.
Yeah, go ahead.
师傅好, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
Yeah,
can hear you.
sure. I can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, it's been a while, Bante. I just want to share something. Lately, I have been picking up a habit of sweeping floor. 扫地. Yeah. So
okay.
So I watched the one of the video and then read some of the sutra say that Buddha has one of the his disciple. I forgot his name. He's not very smart, but he likes to sweep floor. So I think it's Yu Pauling brother. Is it the one of the disciple that who like to sweep floor? So in the teaching, that disciple is because he's not very smart. He sweep floor, and then he was able to link what is the why Buddha asked him to sweep. So I picked that up the habit. So I start sweeping floor every time I finish lunch or finish dinner. I sweep floor, and then every day I sweep. I look at the dirt, the garbage that I sweep. Like, wow, today has so much garbage. Then next day, tomorrow, I sweep again. Ah, so much garbage again. And then all of a sudden, things hit me. Like all this dirt is like the dirt in our heart. So every day you sweep, and then the dirt come. So tomorrow you sweep again, the dirt will come again. So it's like our heart is just the dirt is just keep coming out. All the dirty, all the bad stuff just keep coming out. You just have to keep sweeping and sweeping and sweeping. So that's what I want to say. I mean, I just lately I just stopped picking up sweeping. I have a lot of vacuum. I have a lot of robots. I never use it. Right now I just back to the broom, just sweep. It's something that I learned, and even though a simple sweeping can teach you a lot too.
Okay, there's a power of reflection.
Yeah, thank you, brother, for sharing.
Yeah, and one of the disciples, Siu, is also here. By the way, we are in US. It's morning right now. It's 6 in the morning.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, it's just like the other end of the world.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. So, is there other question from brothers, sisters in the Dharma in the room? Because we are already almost coming to 2 hours in this room together. If there's no other question, I'd like to invite Bante to lead us in the short dedication of merits, and then we can end the session together. Rejoice. Bante?
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So usually we make aspiration. First aspiration to be, may these merits of listening to Dhamma and teaching the Dhamma and listening to Dhamma enable us to be free from the asava, the taints and the impurities, in simple terms, defilements, to be that technical, the causes of suffering. Then maybe a supporting condition for the realization of Nibbana. We know Nibbana is unconditioned, so it can only be supporting condition. It cannot be conditional. Nibbana got no condition, but maybe a supporting condition for the realization of Nibbana. And then we share merits with all beings. So we do the Pali recitation this afternoon. Idang me punyang asawakaya wahang hotu idang me punyang nibbana sa paccaya hotu mama punya baga sabba sattana bajemi Sabe, Samang, Punya Baga, Labantu,
Sadhu.
May you all be well and happy and healthy and be safe.
Thank you so much, Bante, for joining us today. Appreciate it very much. Yes, and everyone, this is the end of today's sharing session. We will advise you the next session number 4 as soon as we confirm the timing and the date.
Sadhu, sadhu. Bante, on behalf of the working teams and BMSM, we like to seek forgiveness on if there's any shortcomings from our part in arranging and inviting Bante for this Dharma sharing. And we hope that we have the opportunity to invite Bante again. Sadhu,
you have done well. Sadhu,
Sadhu.
Bante. And sadhu to all.
Okay, brothers and sisters in the Dharma, this is the end of today Metta Network Group session number 3. I hope you have picked up a lot of knowledge and learning. And with this, we end our session. Thank you so much. Sadhu to all.
Sadhu. Good night, all. Sadhu.